Thank you all for coming and participating with us in this. We gather together throughout Southeast Alabama regularly. We sing at different churches and different venues. And this gathering here is to help the community understand a little bit about Sacred Harp music and to understand a little bit of what goes on. So we still meet somewhere, probably a total of 30 to 40 times a year in this area. We gather together as a community to worship God. It's something we do together corporately. And so as we walk through this, I know many of you are visitors. There are no spectators in Sacred Harp singing. We hope, we expect you'll sing along with us. And we do this all to the glory of God. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing this. So we want you guys to participate and share with what we do. You'll notice that in our singing, we sing with gusto, we sing loudly, we sing strongly through the entire time. So we'll sing all day, and we sing it with a great joy. The Sacred Harp music, the book itself was published in 1844. It's got a long history, and it's the roots of the style of music go back to colonial America. It's something that's been lost through the years as community has kind of fallen apart in our society, but it goes way back. It goes back to the Puritan times. And the reason why these shapes and these kind of odd things that are unique to Sacred Harp, they came about to increase the skill and the enjoyment of worship music. That's where it came from. The book first published, we have out with a notation that you'll see today, the Fossil Law and Me, comes from, I think it's 1801 when the first book was published. So the book that we're using today is the 2012 Cooper book. And the Cooper book itself is 1902, so there's some various dates here. But the guy that published the first book that you have there, the blue book, the Cooper book, he's buried in Dothan. His roots are from this area. So, if you have questions that go along, feel free to ask them. I especially ask my family if I'm skipping over something important. Raise your hand and let me know. So, glad you are here. So here's a whirlwind tour of Sacred Harp. So there are four basic parts of music. These four basic parts are pitch, which is how high we sing or how low we sing. And we have the rhythm, which is how long we hold our notes or how short we hold our notes. And then the pieces and parts as we sing in the rhythm and the timings. And then you have the dynamics. The dynamics are how soft and how loud we sing. And you'll notice that most of our songs, we sing with a full voice. We don't yell. Some of my children might yell. They're not supposed to. You'll see the four shapes in here. It is all the notes are represented. All the do, re, mi notes that you know, they're all represented on the scale. But for the Sacred Harp, there are four shapes. And it's fa, sol, la, and mi. I remember these. We'll talk about what the scale and how they fit in. But the way I remember these when I first started singing was fa is a triangle. And I remember fa, the Pythagorean theorem. I'm a mathematician. I measure how fa, the 2 points are. Alright, that's just how I remember. Sol is like the sun, solar like the sun. La is like two L's stuck together. The la and the mi is mi like diamonds. Alright, so these are the four shapes that you'll see. The fa, sol, la are repeated in the scale. So you have these 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. And so you end up with a full octave when you add the tonic at the top. So a lot of words, doesn't matter, you'll see as we go. So the full notes are represented. The major scale. In music, this is how the music's written out. We have round notes. You're all familiar with round notes, whether you can read them or not. And most of you have seen The Sound of Music, where they sing the does, deer, female deer, rage, all the sun. So what we're going to do is we're going to sing through the scale as we go through this. This would be a lot of time in the singing school spent on this scale, on understanding this. So, but we're going to do it kind of rapidly so we can get to some other parts of this. So everybody, please sing with me. So I'll give you the note, starting note. Do, do, re, sol, la. And you'll hear it's going to sound the same with different syllables. As we sing, the fancy word for as we sing through the notes is called solfege, and that's what we do. You know, most of us don't know what solfege is, but that's what we're doing a little bit. You know, it's kind of like sashaying. People don't know what sashaying, but they still do it anyway. Fa, fa, sol, la, sol, la, mi, fa, mi, la, sol, fa, sol, fa. And to try to show you the value of this a little bit, we're going to sing through intervals. So everybody try, unless you're really loud enough key. Everybody try as we sing through this. Okay? And what we're going to do is call a ladder. We're going to go fa to sol, to fa to la, to fa to fa, to fa to sol. Okay? Fa to fa. Fa, fa, sol, fa, la, fa, fa, sol, fa, la, mi, fa, fa, most singers, not to insult anybody, but most singers don't know round notes, but they can do this because they've learned these intervals. I cannot read round notes, and when I first started singing a few years ago, I could not sing a scale, the do re mi, the fa sol la, or any la la la. I couldn't stay on key with anything. So we're going to do this again just for practice. I'm going to point to a note and just see if we can do the jumps. Okay. Fa. I'm going to stop on my head here. I'll go off key somewhere along the way. Alright. In the Sacred Harp tradition, we sit in harps. And this is made to be a square in the middle. The square is called the hollow square. It is where the leader who's called up gets up and leads a song. His job is basically to beat the rhythm as he sings and to bring the class together. As this is shown, the altos will be back here. They sing the low women's part. The bass over here. She's not good. The bass over here will be the men, and they sing the low men's part. The tenor, where the majority of people are, the tenor is the high men's part and women. Men and women sing the tenor. The tenor for us is the melody. The music you know today is that top line that runs across soprano. That is not the melody in Sacred Harp. That got changed somewhere along the way. So the tenor, the tenacious part, the part that grabs you out here, is the tenor. They sing high, men and women. You see your little people here. And the treble over here is going to sing the highest part generally, and that's going to be men and women as well. So women only, men and women, men and women. And what it gives is when you've got a class together, a class of the singing group, the class, it gives you basically like a 6-part harmony. Oh yes, and on the alto is, because alto, the range of that alto, young boys, well, I've got a son that sings in the alto, and because his voice hasn't changed yet, he sings in the pitch of the low women's pitch. So the 4 parts in your books, if you have one, there are some lower books in the back. The way the music is laid out, we have the treble, which you're accustomed to calling it a soprano, is at the very top. The treble is the very top, that will be this part over here. The alto is the next one, that's back in the low women's part. The tenor, which is you, the melody, is here. And then the bass, you have a different clef, the bass over here. That's the way the book is laid out. It can be a little confusing as you sing along, to follow along. This is the way the music's laid out. We'll have singers here and there dispersed, and they can help you out. And we're going to do some examples here in a second. We're going to do some practice. All right, you guys ready to do some practice? This is from 47 on the top. You don't have to open your book. You can see the up and down arrows is how you beat time. You saw before I was beating time up and down. So right here, at the beginning of a measure, you're going down. The last half of the measure, you're going up. It's down, up. And it's very helpful in our style of music, because our style of music kind of can seem frantic and chaotic. All right? Because we have different parts coming in at different times. We have the bass sometimes singing higher than the treble. And so it's a lot going on when we're singing. And so the leader who beats time is making sure people know where they are as they're singing. And when that hand's coming down, they know they're at the beginning of a measure. It's going up, it's the end of the measure. And I also remember you jump over measure bars. Your hand goes down, it goes up, jump over the measure bar, down and up. This little snippet is going to begin with a rest. We haven't talked about rest, and rests are where you don't sing. They can call it preparation because you're preparing for the next note. So here, I'm going to point to the notes as I give a key out for us to sing this, and I'll tell you how we lead the song. So high. All right, when we lead a song, we put our hand up at the beginning, always. So just for practice, this is a class, so put your hand up. We always start with our hands up. When there's a rest, remember you're leading people, right? So when there's a rest, you just drop your hand for the rest, and then you bring it up to bring everybody in. Okay? So high. This will be real fast on this. So whole notes, the notes and rest. This is the notation, and it's just like the round notes that if you know music, you're accustomed to. These are round notes. We have a whole. We have an associated rest that goes with that. So if you're in a rest for a whole measure or a whole note's worth, I remember this because it looks like a hole. You got a line going across here on your staff, and it looks like a hole, which reminds me of some whole notes. This, we have a half note. I remember this, why this looks like a hat. So I think, oh, it's a hat note. That's how I remember that. It's a hat note. Half note. And the rest of these, just either you memorize them or you guess as you go along. As you get down here, they're so short, they hardly matter. So a dot, when you see a note with a dot on it, like this says, it adds half of the time to it. So this is a whole note, it would be a time and a half. It would be a half note would be time and a quarter. It becomes very natural as you sing during the measures. Most of us don't think a whole lot about it, especially when you get down here. You're just trying to go with the car, keep up with traffic. That's what we're trying to do. For proportion's sake, we're going to sing through this right here. I'm just going to give you a note. We're going to show proportion. I'm going to beat time. This is a 4/4 time. So I'm going to go down and up. It'll be a whole note. And this down and up, down and up. Okay, and it's just an exercise to show proportion. And we spent a lot of time on this. We had a real singing school going on. So. So when it gets here, it's kind of, you just keep up the track. So on both time, you'll see on music, I'm sure you've seen numbers over here, and what do they mean? When I started singing, I didn't know any of this. So I'm just going to walk through this. In Sacred Harp, this part over here with the pounds and the little B's and stuff that show over here is the key signature. you don't need to know it. When I give a key, or whomever's giving a key, they're telling you how to sing the song. And that note, they're going to give you the bass note in that scale, and you just sing along. This is important. 2-2. This means you have 2 half measures, all right, 1 over 2, 2 half measures, or their equivalent, fill a measure. So I got a half and a half, half and a half. That's in this measure. 2 half notes, or their equivalent, fill a measure. Equivalent would be this hat rest right here. So 2 half notes, or their equivalent, fill a measure. And this is going to be a practice. 49 at the top, some of you are familiar with. So we're going to practice this. We're going to practice speaking time, right? So hand up. At the beginning is a rest. And you'll find out, we'll talk about how to do it if it's not a rest there. But we just drop our hand down at the beginning, and we'll bring it back up. Okay? So let me give a note. I'm going to give you a time note here. There's another practice is 4 quarter notes or their equivalent fill a measure. 4 quarter notes, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see across there. A whole note's equivalent to 4 quarter notes. 4 quarter notes, 2 half notes. Enough of the math. So we do this 4 quarter notes for their equivalent. This is not starting off with a rest. So this is a big help to those who are leading. Your hand starts up. Now you don't just drop your hand because you don't know we're going to start singing. So what we do in Sacred Harp to help out the class from going to come along and sing with us, at the beginning all you do is you just raise your hand and then you start coming down. So it's called a preparatory gesture. You're just going to raise it, everybody takes a breath, and then you start singing. Okay? Take a deep breath so you can sing real loud. So here's the note. So here at the bottom, this is all called common time. 2 quarter notes for their equivalent fill a measure. We talked to us about that, I think. 2 quarter notes for their equivalent fill a measure. And this is from 401. Okay. I got it wrong?
That's right.
So you guys sound great. All right. Now we're something called triple time. In triple time, you beat time a little differently. So you're doing 3. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's right here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to sing through this. So I think this is one of the most helpful things as we sing along. This is kind of like a roadmap too, as I walk through this. A lot of our songs, when you open that book, you don't know the song, and with Sacred Harp music, we don't know what someone's going to call when they get up there, especially if they're a little kid. You have no idea what they're going to call. Right? We don't practice. Someone gets up, they say, I want to sing 49 on the bottom. They call out 49 on the bottom, everybody turns to it, and you start singing. That's one of the reasons we solfege. We walk through the notes. Because that is our practice. It's that little bit of practice. Everybody kind of gets an idea of the rhythm. They get the idea of how someone's leading, and we go and we just take off and run with it. So if you ever wonder why are all these notes, you know, we're not speaking in tongues. We're just singing out the notes. So let me see. So we'll start with the preparatory gesture. So. So also. And remember, it's up, it's down, down, up, down, down, up. I'm trying to be ambidextrous here, I'm not left-handed. So we'll try this 3-4 times, 3 quarter notes for their equivalent, fill the measure. So, more notes as you go down, more notes as you go up. So this is 6/4, 6 quarter notes or their equivalent, fill a measure. 6 quarter notes or their equivalent, fill a measure. And it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 quarter notes are equivalent. I don't know if I can do this, I'm going to try. So I'm going to give a note here at the bottom of the spots, our tonic, it's the beginning of the scale. So we're going to do the next one, which is 6/8 notes. Whenever I see 8th notes or anything with a flag on it, the first thing that happens is this fear, this dread in me, because I've got to sing these things real fast. It's you don't have to be afraid. It's just me. I've always been afraid of flags. So the same thing is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to key it again. So this is there's a major scale, so we have major scales and minor scales, and there's like all kinds of technical stuff. Yes, Eddie?
Hey, do you think the easel kind of
yes, I can.
higher?
Oh, higher? Oh, I go higher.
Okay.
I don't think so, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, if I can't even hear a little bit, just hope we don't have a tragedy here. Is that better?
Well, they'll like scoot together and make you go higher.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Woo! So, we have major and minor scales. We've been singing major scales so far. In the major scale, the first note of the scale is going to be a fa. It shows a full octave. In a minor scale, the first note is a la. Basically, everything gets shifted up. You guys know minor scales. In modern music, minor scales tend to go with scary stuff. So, for whatever reason that is. Sacred Harp makes use of minor scales a lot. You'll find a lot, and there's nothing to do with being scared. So, we're going to sing through this again, and then we're going to sing this. So, let me give you a note. Fa. Some plants out here are going to help me out with this. So, some family members are my plants. So we're going to sing through this right here. So I'm going to key it first. I'll point to the key and then I'll let you know when you start singing this. La, la. I'm probably going to go just a little bit of time into the singing. So maybe not, that was my last one. All right, road signs. As we start singing, it may seem real simple to you right now. As we start singing, there's some things to note. You'll see at the beginning of many of our songs, there are repeat marks. So right here's a repeat. These repeat marks. Typically at the beginning of a song, at the beginning, there's a repeat, or when there is a repeat, it's mandatory. We always repeat it at the beginning of the song. All right, so it'll be two series of lyrics, and then it'll go into a chorus. Happens a lot. So when you see this, you'll know that we're always going to repeat. You may tend to just keep going left to right, because that's the way you learn to read. But we're going to do a little, in this music, it always repeats. In the latter part of the songs, there's oftentimes an optional repeat. The optional repeat is usually with a chorus. So here's a tip for you, singer. So we already talked about when you're going to start a song off and there's no rest. Right? We raise our hands a little bit, that preparatory gesture, and we come down. We're singing a song. We get to the end. If you tell everybody ahead of time, I want to repeat, they might forget. They might, especially the bass guy that's sitting over there is going to bring people in. Right? So they may forget. So they're beating time. You'll see why this matters in a little bit. So they're beating time, and they get to this part right here, and they want to repeat. All right? So if you get to the end and you want to repeat, one of the things you can do is just make a gesture. You make your arms go up, you step forward, and let everybody know. That's one thing you can do. You do it before you get to right here. Do it here. So you're beating time. You get toward the end, you step forward like that. Some people will take and they'll do a really big gesture. Right? Some people will raise their eyebrows and look. Some people will nod their head. I can't nod my head to beat time, so I won't do that. And then some people will do their finger like that. I let everybody know. And some people slap their book. We discourage that, but some people slap their book. Right. But that's really important on these speaking songs, so people start coming in at different times. And then at the ending, when there is an optional or may repeat, you're going to see these numbers here. So the first time through, when you see a number, like this is a half note, right? A half note, you're going to go back to where that repeat is and come back into it. And then the second time through, on a repeat, you're going to see the second note out. So this will become more obvious why it's important. But that is our 30 minutes, the whirlwind tour, the 3 days of singing school in 30 minutes.
Mr. Morgan, would you be the first leader after Mr. Stanley?
All right, so this is the original version of this song, and everybody's singing together. When we get to this section here, we're going to have the trebles are singing, and the basses are doing a duet, and then we get the rest a little bit. Not usually what you see in the hymn. So far. Let's sing number 36 on the bottom. Words will be familiar. Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me one more time which line is alto and which line is the melody?
Okay, we'll go through all of them. The top staff is the treble, the high harmony.
Yeah.
The second staff is the alto. The third staff is the melody line. That's where most we sing it. And then bass is our foundation. Almost a firm foundation, but we'll go with it. All right, let's see. In this one, you'll note everybody sings together. That first little section, the bass is going to sing a little part. Then the tenors come in. Then the trebles come in. And then the altos come in. Similar to like row, row, row your boat. Then everybody ends together. That's the game plan anyway. So far. We're fixing to start the time where everybody gets the chance to lead.